Welcome back to the grind. In this video, we're going to go through some first flights with Dross and discuss how to fly Dross. I am a little bit disappointed, but it's kind of what I expected. This dragon is very weak against defenders because he has not really any ways to avoid super shots, and we'll see that happening in these videos. So first, this video is actually fairly strong, a level 80 towers and some level 77s, and without a defender, you can see that he actually is fairly able to manage a base like this, but only without defenders, because if you had a defender putting on super shots, then it would be much more challenging, which we'll see. But I was actually kind of impressed that he was able to manage this. It's a bit difficult waiting for the ammo to come back up, but the disable is fairly wide range, so it actually is quite useful in disabling some key towers. And I ran this base defended several times, so this is the only successful one where I had lightning resist. I disabled the front 3 towers, then focused on disabling the ice flak next, and then disabling the lightning towers, allowing myself to try to heal up against the damage. I was not able to clear all the towers on this defended run just because of the heals and the increased HP with those buffs, and having to work on disabling more towers before I could focus on destroying some of the front towers. But I was actually fairly impressed with his ability to manage that much of it. Now, taking out farms and mills, this dragon struggles with, because as you can see, one full round, including the invoke shot, doesn't destroy the towers, so you will have to circle back on them, which can be challenging with a defender healing the towers. But granted, these are buildings that are 2 roughly tiers higher than the dragon that I'm flying, so at equal tier, like most dragons, he won't have much trouble. This next base has more appropriate tower levels, like 71, and it is going to be defended. And you can see that based on the difference in attack power to defense power, that the gear for this base is slightly less ideal compared to the gear that I have on this dragon, because my attack power is actually higher than the defense power. So you would expect that it would be a very easy flight to destroy this base. Now, he is defending, and I first go to disable the front 3 towers, and the fact that the invoke shot destroyed that tower just kind of shows you that the towers are quite a bit weaker. And then after that, you can continue to cloak and heal, but once you come out of the cloak, you're very exposed to damage and super shots. The only thing you have is a heal, but mage drain hits you or an ice flak hits you, and you pretty much lose your ability to use your spells because they both cost 1 rage. So this is problematic for this dragon, and even though there's only 2 spells and they each only cost 1 rage, on a long island I find myself running out of rage near the end of the island, because you constantly have to be cycling both of those spells if you want to stay alive. And I made a mistake on this last part. I should have focused on that last farm before I killed the final tower. I probably could have 100%ed that base, but that is definitely one of the challenges of invokers, because you only have ammo every 4 seconds, so you have to be smart about when you use it and where. This base is level 77s, 4.4 billion defense, so it's a bit higher, maybe on the higher end of appropriate for this tier, and again, there'll be no defender. So you want to start out by disabling the main towers first. I went for the front ones because I could disable 3, and those ones would deal the most damage, but it left me open to mage drain. The next round I fired to disable the back towers and destroy one of them. After that, I split my ammo on 2 towers so that I could be as efficient as possible, using the cloak to slow me down and to avoid damage. But again, between those cloaks, you're very exposed, and I even ran out of ammo on this short island, and you can see you have to be patient waiting for the ammo to regenerate so that you can take out the remaining towers. And then I wasn't quite prepared for this island mentally. I was able to dodge the fire flak shot, but that left me exposed to the howitzer shot. Luckily, I didn't die. I was able to dodge in time to dodge the next one. And then again, just waiting for ammo to regenerate to destroy the towers. But it is challenging to take them all out, because especially with heals and not being able to destroy a full tower with 1 round, then it can be challenging to destroy all of the towers and get 100%. And then just for fun, I wanted to see how I could do on a higher level base, 8 billion with level 82 towers, and it will be defended with super shots. I wanted to see if you would be able to set up a higher level base, and still it really depends on if you're able to tank a couple shots. When they actually defended hard on this base, I had no chance, but only super shots. I was able to sneak through 1 time, disabling the front towers first, followed by the back towers, and I was only able to destroy 2 of the towers because they had such high health. I needed needed to use multiple rounds of ammo on them. Another thing to be careful about is if you attack a tower that's disabled, it will be undisabled momentarily. So if you are unable to cloak or tank that shot, then you might die. And then on this last island, I was expecting to do much more poorly than I did. I was able to disable the back towers and dodge the initial shots so that I was protected from those. And then I was able to do a fair bit of damage to these undefended farms and mills, more so than I imagined I would be. And all in all, I'm fairly impressed with how this run turned out, but I'm not impressed enough that I want to get this dragon because he doesn't really excel in any way for me. It's a fun dragon to have as an invoker with some potential to set up some tough kill islands, but you can see I left a lot of towers. It was a much stronger base, so 83% is fairly good, but once again with a defender I had no chance, unfortunately. Here is an example of a defended run. Now, if you were able to time it right so you could get that disable off before the Flax got another shot off, then it might be possible to disable the towers. But again, I struggled to do it. And even if you disable them all, you really won't be able to destroy any towers. So it didn't really seem worthwhile to me. And that is mostly because if you really want a setup dragon, you want to be able to set up any base. Now, this dragon could only set up bases where it can tank a couple shots from the towers because there is that period where they are momentarily exposed. So you have to take some damage unless you're using other spells to protect yourself for one situation. But otherwise, you are very exposed and will not really be able to set up bases much higher than his tier. So it doesn't really seem to excel at setting up. As you can see, it didn't seem to excel at destroying a base. If you are interested in Dross, it's not the worst dragon to lead with if you are not expecting to 100% the base, but in my opinion, he's not the most fun invoker to fly because he just has 2 spells and you have to wait around for ammo, and he doesn't really seem to add much to my roster. But if you're interested in an invoker, you don't have one yet, and you really want one, he's still going to be a fun dragon for you to fly and to learn, and he does have some utility with the disable effect. So it's not a dragon that I would necessarily recommend going out of your way to get, but if it is going to make your enjoyment of the game significantly better, then that's always something to consider as well. But by far, he's, in my opinion, one of the worst of this season at this point. But that does not mean that he won't be useful and enjoyable for you. So you'll have to make that decision for yourself. So once again, thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.